how's it going, friends, fellow gamers, and my No Man's Sky explorers out there? So, I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible. I've done this several times and then kind of removed it or deleted it because I just felt that at some point maybe I was being a bit negative, though point being this is supposed to be a rant, right? So rants are supposed to be negative, but I'm trying not to be the angry guy that other people in the world know me to be at times. So, or less angry, opinionated, whatsoever. Anyway, so this is about the addressing all the negativity about No Man's Sky, a game that apparently, people that wanted to love now want to hate. I don't see how that changed so far. I still don't understand the people that are so negative towards it. Like, what game they saw footage from prior to, or did they just only listen to like audio of Sean Murray talking, and so they took what he said to be something completely different than what they saw? But regardless of the things about this, like, potential idea again of multiplayer, which again he said was really not possible, though it was possible. He was telling you in essence that there is a small bubble around your character, which in theory another character, if in the same space, could occupy, and therefore you would have what would theoretically be a multiplayer moment. However, the moment that your friend or fellow explorer walked outside of that bubble, or you walked outside of their bubble, you are going to lose them. Now, I don't know what game you've been playing or what game you've seen, but there is literally almost no map. There's no compass. There are icons that point in directions, so you can maybe have that as a way of getting somewhere. But once you're lost, you're lost. So as soon as you lost your friend, or he lost you, you would be sitting around playing hot and cold for the next God knows how long to find your friend. I mean, I have lost a building while flying around that was essentially around nothing and still could not find that building for 20 minutes sometimes. So there is right there just people, again, I don't know, hearing what they wanted to hear. They've never really heard what was said, or they never grasped the level of what he was trying to explain to people, that maybe your, I don't know, to put it mildly, your intellect is too small to understand larger abstract concepts or ideas of what is potential but may or may never happen. Again, like things like quantum theory and quantum physics, it's about the idea that, unless you're watching some shit, it doesn't happen. Reality doesn't even exist if you're not engaging it. Those concepts are like so difficult for even the smartest person to really engage without feeling like you're in the realm of fantasy. It gets too difficult for us to try to put in context what that really can mean. So trying to tell you what a small bubble in a giant universe that you carry with you, that must be maintained at all times, so that when your friend turns left and you turn right, you meet each other. But if you both turn left and go forward at the same time, you may not be in the same bubble because you don't overlap, because you went 2 feet farther from each other. I don't know about you, but I'm not a game developer. I'm not a game designer. I don't understand the math. I don't understand the programming. I don't understand, the end-all be-all of servers and how things work. But I would wager that 99% of you that are playing this game and watching or listening to streams of this game, you don't either. Again, you don't know the slightest thing about math. Most of you probably are not, I don't know, sci-fi artists. So when you complain about something being not sci-fi enough or being not real enough, whatever, I don't know what references that you're an expert in, but I guarantee you that the people that designed the art style of this game are experts in the reference material that they are drawing from. You're not. or most of you are not. People complaining about controls. They don't like the, again, well, you want to complain? I don't like the share button on the PlayStation 4 controller. So, do I tell you that my PlayStation sucks? Because, I don't know about you, but I traded in my Xbox One, which I was a Xbox user, Xbox Live account for 9 years or whatever. I was a diehard Xbox dude, but I wanted this game, and this is the only way I was going to have it, and I couldn't afford to buy both systems, so I got rid of my Xbox. I gave up everything I had, 9 years worth of gaming connections and achievements and all that, just to play this game. And I'm thankful I did. I still love my game. I'm happy for what I did. But let me tell you, do I complain about the fact that I don't like the UI interface of the main front screen of your PlayStation Home? Absolutely. I think the Xbox One's is way better. Do I hate this SHAREfactory thing that I have to use to go through to edit my videos compared to the Upload Studio on Xbox One's suites? Absolutely. I think this is a terrible program. They charge you for things that you don't, that you should get for free, basically, little filters or whatever. They don't give you enough even options if you were to pay for them, whereas Xbox is much, I don't know, I like them better. But that's a preference. It doesn't mean that their things suck necessarily. It's just a preference. There's expectations that people have, and those expectations are often not met. And maybe sometimes you're expecting things way more than you deserve. You're expecting way more than you are willing to work for, or you're expecting more than is reasonable to ask for. Either way, you usually never get every single thing you want. The developer who designs the game doesn't get everything he wants. The player doesn't get everything they want. The consumer, in the end, gets the best of what they can, because if they speak up loud enough, if they don't buy the game, then the people who made it, or the people who are selling it, or the people who are promoting it, or the people who are producing it, they're going to either pick up their level here by adding more stuff, updates, whatever, by releasing more content, and of course they're going to charge you. It costs money to make things, guys, so deal with it. But they're going to at least try to address the complaints rather than just blow you off and tell you to, F you, we already got your money, so, ha ha ha. If they did that, you'd never buy another product from them in the future. So trust me, Sean Murray and Hello Games, if they're hearing all this crap that people are saying about them, it's probably hurting their feelings greatly. I mean, mind you, they worked 4 freaking years or more on this game. This is the love of their labor. There's a small team. They're not a giant corporation, and they signed a deal with Sony so that they could reach more people, so that they could get out there. And I'm sure that with signing that deal, Sony has put a lot of parameters and walls up for them that they don't want to deal with, didn't want to, but they have no choice now. They signed a deal with the devil, so to speak. You wanted them to sign the deal with the devil. Well, now they did. And you're bitching about it because you don't know what happens behind the scenes, people. And I'm telling you. I don't need to tell you my credentials or who I am or what I come from or what I do as a professional career or who I know. But the fact of the matter is, when you're dealing with things like licenses and artists and royalties and all these different various factors, you are dealing with a bunch of legal hoops to jump through. And Hello Games, when they were a small company doing their little thing, they could manage that a lot easier because they were themselves in control of every little bit. But when then you sign on a band to do your soundtrack, and that band has a record label or is an independent label, whatever it may be, when you sign a contract with a distribution company such as Sony or whatever, or a company that's going to get behind you, you now have 3, 4, however many more corporations involved that all have legal departments, and in most cases, such as like Sony, have legal departments way beyond your means. You could never, Hello Games couldn't take on Sony if they wanted to now. If they got in a bad contract, they're like Prince, stuck in these things for years and years and years, to where the only way to survive getting out of them is to literally destroy your company and reform as a different name and start all over again. you people in the gaming industry that seem to be so in the know, I fail to understand how you are not bringing this part of the equation into things when you're talking all this smack about the game and how it doesn't live up to promises and how it's buggy and all that. You're not mentioning the fact that Sony is ultimately the puppet master pulling the strings behind everything that happens now. So maybe Sean Murray in the original form, when he was Hello Games and they hadn't signed the deal with the devil, he wanted to give you free DLC. He wanted updates to be whatever, but Sony says, we want our cash, buddy. You're going to distribute your thing on our system. We've now spent tons and tons and thousands of dollars on advertising for you. You guys have no idea. You think you know so much. You think you know all this stuff, but you don't know shit about the advertising industry. You don't know anything about marketing. You don't understand contract law. You don't get it, people. And you need to have a bit more perspective instead of sitting on your little asses playing a video game and thinking that you're the armchair quarterback of how corporations work. Maybe you ought to get a job in one and understand how they work for real, to actually deal with the reality of what happens to an artist when an artist is trying so hard to reach a greater audience, right? Not because they want to get rich. I guarantee you this as an artist, okay? Artists don't want to just get rich. They make their art to express something beyond themselves. They make their art to show you as a person out there what more is capable in your imagination, what more is capable in reality if you even strive for it somewhere, because potentially, again, this is all quantum reality in a sense, potentially, in the potential focus of a ginormous universe that we live in. And now, as science is proving, in multiverses that we live in, or we inhabit, or we occupy, or we blip through, or whatever we do, if we're even real, right, the enormity of that suggests that maybe something like what I've seen in some of the planets on No Man's Sky actually exists. Perhaps they don't. But you and I don't know. We'll probably never, ever, ever in our lifetime or another lifetime or 10,000 lifetimes after that know. Because we can't experience it. And if you can't experience it, you can't know. So you talk about, you've experienced this game, you know what there is to see, it's too boring, it's whatever, but yet you've not 100%ed every planet you ever landed on. You've not swam to the bottom of certain oceans. You have not, I guarantee you, there are planets where it says the life form is rare. And I have hunted miles and miles and found nothing for hours until suddenly I hit one little spot, and out of nowhere, the creature I've been hunting for, or haven't even known I was hunting for, appears. But there's nowhere else ever I've seen him on the planet. There are rock form structures that as I start to get used to, and I think that I'm used to seeing that, suddenly I see something new. For me, that's what this game is about. For you, if you didn't see this or understand this right through the door coming in the gate, you missed out. Again, I don't know what games people are looking into that or wanted this game. Somehow maybe it fell into this weird vibe that the wrong crowd got hyped to it. But to me, this game is the same kind of game that Ark is, that something like Subnautica, which I only hope to God they bring to PlayStation at some point in time. But there's another game right there, Subnautica. You want to complain? It's one world, and you just swim around an ocean. But God, I could spend hours trying to discover the weird creatures that are in that place and crafting weird things. You don't understand the nature of these types of games. It's the same people that are bitching about how they didn't like the base, or not the base building, but the settlement building or whatever in Fallout. They didn't like. They don't like Minecraft. There's a type of person that likes this type of game, and there's a type of person that this game was never meant for in a million years. And somehow, I think the two mixed together through the beauty of the game. Maybe it drew in people that are really digging the artwork, and then didn't understand it. It's not going to be Destiny or Destiny Plus or whatever. I don't know what the hell people were expecting from this game. But what I was expecting, I got.